I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
If you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again.
I don't care. I don't care. I thought I was gonna die. It was a weird. I always say, like, I have a life like Forrest Gump. Like, I'm always where the action is. We tried to hang out afterwards, but it's like, man.
I don't think Will lost anything. The movie just got a freaking #1 movie 2 weeks in a row at the box office.
Let's start with a question nobody in mainstream media wants to answer. On March 27th, 2022, Will Smith walked across the stage of the Dolby Theatre in front of 40 million people watching at home and hit a man in the face. Not a villain, not someone who threatened him. A comedian doing his job on the biggest night in Hollywood. And when Will Smith sat back down in his seat, the room stood up and applauded him. And Jim Carrey, not a blogger, but a man who was the highest paid actor on planet Earth for a decade straight. Ace Ventura, The Truman Show, The Mask, a man who spent 30 years at the absolute center of Hollywood power, who knows every face, every handshake, every unwritten rule behind those walls, was sickened. Not by the slap, by the standing ovation. Because Jim Carrey understands something most people watching at home didn't catch. In that room, a standing ovation is not applause. It's a message. It's the most powerful people in entertainment telling Will Smith, "We've got you." Now look at the man who actually got hit. Chris Rock, 40 years in the game, the greatest stand-up comedian alive, a man who has roasted presidents and hosted the Oscars twice, not because he was invited, but because Hollywood needed him in that chair. And his response to Will Smith? Not a lawsuit, not a tearful interview, not a victim statement, just, "You and I are done." Now, here's the part that should make you stop and rewind. Will Smith did not lose a single thing. Bad Boys, Ride or Die came out after the slap. It made over $200 million at the box office. The deals kept coming. The brand kept standing. The machine kept running. Think about that. In this same industry, careers have ended over a misworded tweet. People have been blacklisted for saying the wrong thing in the wrong room. Decades of work erased overnight. Will Smith walked up, hit a man on live television in front of the world, and Hollywood rewarded him. That doesn't happen by accident. That doesn't happen because of good PR. That only happens when someone very, very powerful has decided that Will Smith stays, no matter what he does in public. So who made that decision?
I'm doing just fine. There's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
They're
I
celebrating.
mean, you got to admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe
icons,
in
boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, possibility that we could come up with. It's like icons. What do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry, you're one of them.
On the good foot. Ha! Yeah. You shut it down now. Yeah, no, I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personality, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red that you wear on your chest that makes bullets bounce off. I believe that it's deeper than that. I believe we're a field of energy dancing for itself. And I don't care.
But Jim, you got really dressed up for the occasion. You look good.
No, I didn't.
Was that an
get dressed
accident?
up. I didn't get dressed up.
Who did?
There is no me.
There's no you.
No.
We're not here. This is a dream.
There's just things happening. And there are clusters of tetrahedrons moving around together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's happening in our world right now? Because there is a lot of news that actually is relevant that's not that
Here's
uplifting.
the thing. It's not our world.
None
That's
of this
the
is
key.
real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Oh, wow.
There's the good news.
Okay.
Jim Carrey, the man who used to headline those events, who used to be the reason people tuned in, is now standing outside it all, calling it pretentious, calling it meaningless, calling it a show, put on for people who don't understand what the show is really about. When a man with Jim Carrey's history says awards and Hollywood events mean nothing, he's not being humble. He's telling you, I know what those rooms cost, and I'm not paying it anymore.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Every celebrity in Hollywood knows about it. Every single one at those tables. Every person who stood up and applauded Will Smith that night. Jim Carrey is not speculating. He is not theorizing. He is a man with 30 years inside that machine telling you point blank, the secret society people dismiss as a conspiracy? It's not a conspiracy. It's a membership. And Will Smith, somehow, some way, holds a very secure seat at that table. So here's the only question that matters as we go deeper. Jim Carrey saw it from the inside and walked away. Chris Rock got hit by it on live television and went quiet. Even Charlemagne, a man who doesn't protect anybody, looked at the box office numbers and told you straight, Will didn't lose a thing. 3 men, 3 different angles, all pointing at the same uncomfortable truth. Will Smith is protected. The real question, the one nobody in mainstream media will ask, is not what did he do on that stage? The question is, what has he been doing off it that makes him worth protecting this much? Because the people who were closest to him, inside his home, on his payroll, in his orbit, have started talking. And what they're saying is not what you saw on that stage. Let's start with Corey Holcomb.
Will Smith and Jada, they've been open about they have an open relationship. But
Will like guys.
Huh?
Will like guys.
How you know?
I live in LA. Does that make sense to you?
No.
I live in Los Angeles. There's a lot of opportunities I don't get because the guys don't want me to see them with their boyfriends. And I've suffered from that. It's like everybody know anyway. Everybody know anyway. So I'm saying like, do you think me saying Will like guys, because I said it and I can't take it back.
Yeah.
Because I believe it. I know it for the most part. Okay. By me saying that, I hope it doesn't strike a nerve in anybody, but I'm saying I live in LA.
Yeah.
And there's a lifestyle that is kept quiet.
A secret society.
Yeah, and it's like people like me suffer from this lifestyle because of the shame that some guys have of how they like to move. And I don't think that however you move is something you should hold against me. I think it's unfair.
This isn't some outsider making noise online. Corey Holcomb is a veteran comedian, industry insider, a man who moves in the same professional circles as Will Smith. And what he's describing is not a rumor he read on Twitter. He's saying that Will Smith's own peer, people who share the same secrets, the same circles, the same private rooms, don't want him present when they're with their partners. Not because they dislike him, because of what they believe about him. That's locker room knowledge. But Corey Holcomb is just the surface. Because there is a man named Brian King Joseph, a violinist, a touring musician who worked directly under Will Smith. And he didn't go to a podcast. He didn't post on social media. He went to court.
Earlier this year, I was hired to be a performer on a major tour with somebody who is huge in the industry. So I was excited, proud of myself for getting the opportunity. Unfortunately, some things happened, and I can't get into the details of exactly what that was because it's already a legal issue right now. But the reason why I'm speaking out about this is because getting fired or getting blamed or shamed or threatened or anything like that, simply for reporting misconduct or safety threats at work, is not okay. And I know that there's a lot of other people out there who have been afraid to speak up, and I understand. And if that's you, I see you, and that's pretty much it.
An active lawsuit filed on record claiming he faced misconduct on Will Smith's tour, reported it to management, and was fired for reporting it. Not fired for bad performance, not fired for missing a show, fired for telling the truth about what he saw. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is a court document, and it joins a growing stack of formal claims that the mainstream entertainment press has been remarkably quiet about. Now, let's talk about the people inside Will's home.
Don't get me wrong, you know, Jim Carrey is a great character, and I was lucky to get the part. But I don't think of that as me anymore.
You don't? Not at all?
Not really, no. I used to be a guy who was experiencing the world, and now I feel like the world and the universe experiencing a guy.
Jim Carrey, a man who has been inside Hollywood's deepest rooms, talks about losing himself, his identity, his sense of who he actually is underneath all the performance. Imagine what that kind of environment does to a young person. Not someone with Jim Carrey's 30 years of armor. A young actor, 19, 20 years old, no power, no protection, just a dream and an invitation from one of the most famous men alive. That is exactly the kind of person that ended up in Will Smith's orbit.
Only a man knows what a man needs.
And his former personal assistant, a man named Brother Bilal, who was on his payroll, who was in the building every single day, wrote a book about what he witnessed. He called it Will Smith Demonic Circle. Bilal says he was urgently paged by producers to find Will on set. He tracked him down. He walked into a dressing room. And what he found in that dressing room between Will Smith and his close friend Dwayne Martin is what he says changed everything he thought he knew about the man he worked for. Will's team called it completely fabricated. Jada threatened to sue. Bilal doubled down, said he has evidence, and gave Will 2 weeks to prove him wrong. That's not the behavior of someone who made something up. That's the behavior of someone who knows exactly what he saw. But here's where it goes from uncomfortable to truly disturbing. Because Bilal is not alone. Jaguar Wright, a woman who has been dropping receipts on this industry for years before the mainstream caught up, said something that went so viral, it became impossible to scrub from the internet.
They're both they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray. Left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Brycer Gray. You know him as Hakeem from Empire. Young, talented, on the verge of something massive. He entered Will's orbit, and then his career imploded. His personal life collapsed. He ended up in headlines. Nobody wanted to write about him. Meek Mill, named in the same breath. August Alsina, Jaguar's most chilling detail. She says August was the only one who stayed. Think about that framing carefully. The ones who left ran screaming. The one who stayed became the story Jada eventually confirmed on her own Red Table Talk, that the relationship was real, that Will gave his blessing. Now your mind is already asking the question, if these things were happening inside that house, what was happening outside it? Because there is a parking lot in the Hollywood Hills with shuttle buses, and Cat Williams was sitting in it, not as a guest, not as a performer. He knew the people who ran the shuttle service, so he got to sit there in the dark and watch.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Yes, it happened. I got smacked like a year ago. Last week, I got smacked in the Oscars by this mother. And people like, did it hurt? It still hurts. I got summertime ringing in my ear. Drums, please. But I'm not a victim, baby. You will never see me on Oprah or Gayle crying. You will never see it. Never gonna happen. I couldn't believe it, and I love Men in Black. No. It's never gonna happen. No. That I took that hit like Pacquiao, mother. I took it like mother Pacquiao, okay? Man.
Chris Rock, The man Will Smith hit on that stage is telling you he refuses to be painted as a victim, that everybody already knows the truth. But here's what people miss about that statement. Chris Rock doesn't just know about the slap. Chris Rock knows about the world the slap came from. He's been in those rooms. He's seen those faces get on those buses, and he's choosing his words very carefully. Now, back to the parking lot.
Every now and then somebody loses their mind. I mean, not to that extent, but every now and then, yeah, I'm trapped inside a store because somebody's cursing me out. And I'm like, I'm scared to go outside. I'm like, okay, if I go out there, I'm gonna fight. I don't feel like fighting.
Why would they curse you out?
You didn't smile the way they wanted you to smile, or you didn't, you weren't excited. You weren't as excited to see them as they were excited to see you.
The slap was not the first time Will Smith had acted out toward Chris Rock. According to Chris himself, Will had been acting up multiple times before, whenever Chris didn't give him the warm reception he expected. That is what those shuttle buses create. Men who go up the hill one person and come back down believing they are untouchable. Cat Williams sat in that parking lot for 5 hours, multiple times, watching. He watched Hollywood's biggest names park their Bentleys and Maybachs, straighten their jackets, and board those buses. They came back wearing Sean John, Diddy's own clothing line, as if whatever they were wearing when they arrived had been removed.
I ain't been nowhere near that, man. I ain't did none of that stupid Whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. But I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumb stuff because it's like people. It's so many things people say, so much stuff. But that one it was your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
Will Smith says he has nothing to do with any of this. That the claims are lies. That people are fabricating stories. Notice the pattern. Bilal says something completely fabricated. Jaguar says something, silence, then legal threats. Orlando says something, BS. Cat says something, silence. And then Cat dropped the grenade. In a sit-down with Big Boy on Off the Record in February 2026, Cat was asked directly about what he saw in those rooms, around those parties, in that world. He didn't name Diddy's guests with a long list. He named 2. Will Smith knows the story I have not told. And Eddie Murphy knows what he hasn't said. Let that land. Cat Williams, the man who called Kevin Hart a plant before the receipts came out, who warned about Diddy before the federal raids, who described the industry machine in detail before the lawsuits dropped, looked into a camera and said, Will Smith knows a specific story. A story Cat is choosing, for now, not to tell.
When Diddy got locked up, Meek Mill came out saying that he'll pay somebody $100 grand to investigate that he has nothing to do with anything with Diddy.
Man, look, you can't take back what your received. That's just like the video that's coming out with him and Will. With Will Smith getting the Will Smith. You ain't heard the Will Smith footage?
Yeah.
Alright, Will Smith. Then they got the Carl Winslow. Yeah, they got a lot, bro. It's a lot coming out, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna just keep it to you 1,000.
And Orlando Brown says the tape exists. Diddy, Will Smith, on camera, together, in a situation that Orlando says is going to surface. And when it does, it will not be possible to call completely fabricated, because you cannot fabricate footage. But here's the thing. Diddy's parties, Diddy's shuttle buses, Diddy's world. We know what Diddy's world was. We know the names connected to that world. And we know that the same crowd that filled those Hollywood Hills parties moved in very specific circles. Circles that connect to a much darker network. Circles that connect to an island. Remember 1997. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett get married. The photos circulate for decades. Beautiful ceremony. Hollywood royalty at their peak. Everything looks perfect. But online investigators started looking at those photos differently after Epstein's Island became front-page news. The temple structure at their wedding ceremony. People say it looks remarkably similar to the structure that sat on Little St. James Island, Jeffrey Epstein's private compound. the place where the most powerful men in the world did the things that got them put on lists nobody was supposed to see. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
A trove of depraved footage showing Will Smith and other household names in Epstein's Island has surfaced, and the fallout could be catastrophic. We're talking about pagan rituals with satanic influences, child out in the open. And for some of the unlucky children, it was more than just it was child sacrifice. The footage, captured by Hollywood actor Kevin Spacey and later mirrored on the dark web before being seized by the authorities, blows the cover wide open. And we have it. High definition, unaltered, verified. The elite are determined to keep us in the dark. Victims silenced, whistleblowers discredited, digital breadcrumbs wiped clean, and official files released with redactions protecting the guilty, not the victims. But as the outgoing FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino said, if you wait for the government to tell you the truth, you'll be waiting forever. He's right. That's why we're doing this. We have the 4K footage showing Will Smith and other household names on Epstein's Island. And not just visiting, engaging in acts that will bring the entertainment industry to its knees. This is dangerous territory. That's why it was entrusted to us. We're the investigation team they couldn't kill. The same researchers who first exposed Pizzagate before the media gaslit the nation. The ones who decoded the Podesta emails while the world laughed.
And here's the thread that ties it all together. The same people at Diddy's parties were in Epstein's circles. That is not speculation. That is the overlap. People are mapping as sealed documents become unsealed, as files drop, as names surface in places they were never supposed to surface. Diddy's world and Epstein's world were not separate universes. They were in the same room with different zip codes.
In America, in the United Kingdom, across the globe. And we need to be clear, shamelessness is not and will never be a superpower. It is the mark of a villain. Kidnapping children is not what great nations do. Almost half of America at this moment believes there is a sinister deep state diabolically plotting to what? We in America are misinformed. Reality shows have warped our idea of what a hero is, or what the truth is.
Jim Carrey tells you exactly how this stays hidden. Hollywood does not hide things by destroying the evidence. It hides things by controlling what you believe is worth looking at. That is the machine Jim Carrey walked away from.
I'm telling you, kids, don't come to Hollywood. I'm serious.
Your camera's there.
Jim, what about for you? I mean, you had it, on such a grand scale. All of a sudden, you were the biggest movie star in the world, and your paychecks and all of it were public. And I imagine getting out of a car, it was being swarmed with
And
with
90% myth as well. So that's a tough thing to deal with.
What does that feel like?
People
What does it
create your life.
Yeah?
They take elements that are true and they put it in an article so the article looks legit, and yet there's so much of the article that isn't true. So that's something to kind of teach you that, hey, you know what? In order to go forward, I have to let go of what this creation is. And I ultimately found that even the me I created wasn't real, so that left me in an odd, precarious situation.
He tells young people, do not come here. From a man who made it to the very top, who had everything this industry promises, who walked away and has barely been seen since. That is not someone who got tired of acting. That is someone who knows what the price of admission actually is.
Well, I'm retiring, but
No.
yeah, probably.
Are you being serious or are you screwing with me?
I'm being fairly serious. Yeah.
Really? Why?
It depends. It depends if the angels bring some sort of script that's written in gold ink that says to me that it's going to be really important for people to see. I might continue down the road, but I'm taking a break. I have enough. I've done enough. I am enough.
He has enough. Not enough money, not enough awards. Enough. The way a man says enough when he has seen things he cannot unsee. When he has sat in rooms where things happen that no amount of Netflix deals or standing ovations can justify.
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd have announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
No, I agree. I think we all agree on that. I just thought, Jim, that it escalated to that. You know what I mean? That it escalated to that level.
It didn't escalate. It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrated, and I wish him the best. I really do. I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things. But that was not a good moment. It cast a pall over everybody's shining moment last night. You know, a lot of people worked really hard to get to that place and to have their moment in the sun and to get their award for the really hard work they did. And it is no mean feat to go through all the stuff you have to go through when you're nominated for an Oscar. It's a gauntlet of devotion that you have to do. And it was just a selfish moment that cast a pall over the whole thing.
And Chris Rock?
If you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again.
I don't care. I thought I was gonna die. It was a weird. I always say, like, I have a life like Forrest Gump. Like, I'm always where the action is. We tried to hang out afterwards, but it's like, man.
The man who got hit on that stage isn't angry anymore. He's just gone. Quietly, permanently, surgically removed Will Smith from his life. No explanation, no press conference, no closure. Because some things don't need explaining to the people who already know. And the people who don't know yet?
Everybody acting like Will rebounded from the slap. Bro, when was Will down?
I mean, he was down.
He really wasn't.
No, he was down.
It was just social media. It was the media. Like, nobody ever turned their back on Will Smith.
It wasn't that he was down, but I just think that, like, he's a superhero to us. Like, we grew up watching him in Fresh Prince. We saw him in all these superhero movies. Like, he exemplifies what a superhero is. And then he was in this relationship where he was, like, seemingly being, like, emotionally and
we say seemingly,
again,
right?
We don't know.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
That's our narrative.
It's exactly. It's all perception. But, like, even finding out about it, it's an open relationship and she's banging, like, their kids' friends, and you're like, allegedly, well, not even allegedly, she was, and it's just like, well, superheroes wives don't their kids' friends. Like, it just starts to make him look
human.
That's not human.
That's all it did.
That's weird.
You know the best thing.
Name other humans where that happens.
You know the best. A lot.
Stop.
You know the best thing that happened to Will Smith over the last few years. He's been humanized, and that's what he wanted. Go back and listen to the Rap Radar interview that he did with B-Dot and Will Smith when they flew over to Tibet or wherever the it was to sit down and have a conversation with Will Smith. And he's talking about how, you know, he had to keep up a perfect image his whole career. He couldn't even curse. He couldn't even be himself, yada, yada, yada. Then when you read his book, Will, you see a guy who's been wanting to take the mask off forever.
So, yeah, it's like he's liberated. Like, before he was a mind goblin, and now he's...
Will didn't lose a single thing. The public moved on. The box office delivered. The machine absorbed the scandal and kept printing money, which means the machine decided Will Smith was worth more protected than exposed. And that decision was made by people whose names are not yet in any headline. So here are the 3 questions nobody in mainstream media will ask. If Will Smith is protected enough to attack someone on live television and walk away with an Oscar, a standing ovation, and a $200 million box office, what exactly is he protecting them from in return? If Cat Williams sat in that parking lot watched those buses and is still choosing, years later, not to tell Will's story. What is in that story that even Kat thinks the world isn't ready for? And when the tape Orlando Brown is describing finally surfaces, when the files finish dropping, when the last sealed document gets unsealed, whose face are you going to see and realize you already knew? If you like this video, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on any new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.